And for more, we have Caroline Malone joining us from Washington. Well, Caroline, Vice President Harris is accepting the Democratic Party's nomination for presidentship today in Chicago, the final day of the convention. She is supposed to outline a vision and policy agenda for America. What are the highlights to watch for?
Well, absolutely. In the next few hours, it will be really the most important speech of Kamala Harris's life when she takes the stage in front of these big crowds and the millions of people watching at home to really try and deliver a message to try and get enough votes to be president this November. And so far on the stage tonight, on Thursday night, we've heard a good combination of serious and fun, of light and shade. The serious, reflecting some of what we can expect Kamala Harris to highlight in her policies. Things such as tackling gun crime. We've heard from the mother of a Uvalde in Texas gun shooting. That was the mother of a daughter who died in a school shooting in Uvalde, Texas last year. We've also seen on the stage Gabby Giffords, who's a famous survivor of gun crime. Her husband, Mark Kelly, was one of the people that was on the shortlist to be the running mate of Kamala Harris. Didn't make it, of course, because we've got the Governor Walz of the other state of Minnesota instead. But really, we've heard a bit of this seriousness. We've heard a bit about climate change as well. We heard from the first Native American cabinet secretary, Deb Haaland, talking about the protection of land, how Kamala Harris is the right person to do that. We've heard from former colleagues and friends of Harris talking about, her ability to fight for what's right, to fight for justice. Of course, she has practiced as an attorney general, as a lawyer over many years, and that is part of her big experience that comes to the stage. But there's also this fun element too. We've seen from, big actors. We've heard just now from Pink, who's a famous singer here in the United States. And we are expecting to see some more big names in the next few hours. The rumor is Beyonce might make it onto the stage. That's not yet confirmed, but potentially Beyonce, and then of course Kamala Harris herself.
All right. Also, just on a lighter note, wanted to know, there's a very clear fashion trend at the convention. Why Democratic women are wearing white at the DNC?
Yes, absolutely. That's one of the things that's been incredibly important. And I think what we're really seeing here is, in some ways, some of the serious messages that we've seen on stage on Thursday night. And that is underlying what the Democrats, what Harris's campaign have been calling as Trump's racism. One group that we saw on stage was the Central Park Five, as they're known. They're a group of 5 young black men who, when they were teenagers, were accused and then found guilty and put in jail for a crime that they weren't guilty of. They've actually been exonerated since then, but they served 15 years in jail for rape, for harassment in Central Park in New York. At that time, Donald Trump was one of the people who was fighting for the death sentence for these people. He put out big ads in newspapers. And to this day, he hasn't apologized or changed his mind, he said, about these 5 men. So it was very powerful seeing them on stage and talking about their concerns, as many other people have done at this convention, about what kind of president Donald Trump would be, and therefore why, in many ways, they think Kamala Harris is the best person to lead the country forward, because she stands for the legitimate rights. She's a good person, and she will protect all people's rights in the United States, they say.
All right, Caroline, I'm sure the atmosphere there is very electrifying. Thank you so much for all that update from there right now.